All right, hey guys, this is Yoda. We're gonna go over all the tank tier sets that just dropped uh, in War Within beta. I'm gonna go over a couple DPS specs, but mostly I'm a tank player now, so I'm gonna go over the tanks. The DPS specs that I've been playing before a lot, like the rogues, havoc. We'll talk about those briefly, but mostly it's gonna be about tanks. All right, so Death Knight. When you gain one or more Bone Shield charges, the damage you take is reduced by 2%. Losing a Bone Shield charge has a chance to reduce the damage you take by an additional 1% up to 3. So it looks like it's going to be anywhere between 3% and 5%. So it seems like with this tier set, it's going to be weaker than most of the season 4 tier sets. I'm pretty sure the rest of them are going to follow the same trend. But yeah, this is 2 to 3% DR, so you're just playing the game normally. Your damage is increased by 1% per active Bone Shield. Taking damage below 6 has a chance to generate 1 to 2 Bone Shield charges. So I assume you're gonna just want to keep your Bone Shields like at max the whole time. So this secondary effect is probably not that effective because you're gonna want to be like trying to maximize your tier set, right? By maxing out your Bone Shields. With Sen Lane, I think you're way more likely to use this better because with Deathbringer, I think your Marrow Rends are like kind of scripted. Where with Sand Lane, you don't really want to be pushing Marrow Rend either. So I'm not sure how this is gonna play out. I think you generally want to just have high Bone Shield charges, obviously, to take advantage of this. But we'll see, because with Sand Lane, you're kind of motivated to just spam Hearth Strike and Death Strike. And with Deathbringer, you have a bunch of free Marrow Rends, so I'm not sure how it's actually going to play out. But yeah, this seems pretty good. It's like 3-ish% DR and 5-ish% damage. All right, don't play DPS DK. We're on to DH. We'll talk briefly about Havoc, since I do play Havoc. Blade Dance deals 20% increased damage. Chaos Strike deals 20% increase and 20% chance to reset the cooldown. So it seems like it's not that crazy, but it does enhance your gameplay a bit. We can definitely be assured that we will be pushing Blade Dance with his tier set. And in AoE, you're kind of more motivated to push Chaos Strike than you are on live. Right now, Chaos Strike is like such a weak global on live. I think it's better to like Fell Rush a lot of the time for AoE. But now you'll definitely be wanting to maximize your Chaos Strikes in AoE. All right, DH, Vengeance. Soul Cleave deals 15% increased damage and has a 35% chance to shatter one lesser soul fragment from a target it hits. Okay, so it's 35% chance no matter what per cast, even if you hit like 6 targets or 5 targets, it's always 35%. Damage increases might mean you play. This is definitely a single target increase no matter what build you play. With no Spirit Bomb, this is like a massive increase in your overall damage as well. So this is definitely favoring no Spirit Bomb. We'll have to see if you actually end up playing that, but at least it's a pretty big single target gain. Consuming a Soul Fragment increases the damage and healing of your next Velvet by 2% up to 30. There's just absolutely no way that you don't generate 15 souls between Feldevs, so this is just a baseline 30% increase to Feldev. Overall, assuming you actually push a lot of Soul Cleaves in AoE, this gives you a decent amount of DR from Painbringer and some self-healing. Actually, quite a bit of DR. I don't think it's going to be nearly as strong as Season 3 or 2 of Dragonflight's tier set. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Vengeance DH definitely has had extremely strong tier sets in Dragonflight. I don't know about Season 1, but Season 2 and 3, the tier sets were extremely strong. This one is not as strong as those, I think. So VDH is probably getting a bit weaker relative to their tanks, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, this is going to be pretty good for no Spirit Bomb build. We'll have to see how it plays out. All right, Druid. Quick look at Boomy. Star Surge and Starfall each increased, and Lunar Eclipse and Solar Eclipse increased the Astral Power. So you're casting more finishers and they do more damage. Seems cool. Feral. Target Sphere increases your chance to crit starting at 6, increased by 1 every 2 seconds. It's interesting that they didn't put a cap here. I assume that means when you push Tiger's Fury, it'll reset the buff. Like if you repress it, because in AoE you can kind of just repress over and over and you have infinite duration. But I assume that means it'll reset when you repress it. Otherwise it'd be crazy, right? You just have 100% crit. So next one, critical strikes your combat generate abilities, increase the direct damage of your next bite and rampant ferocity or primal wrath. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so you're gonna value crit pretty highly, unless I don't know how this is all gonna play out, but seems strong-ish. Guardian Druid, Thrash and Moonfire, increase your damage done and reduce your damage you take by 1%. Stacked to 3 times, so it's just 3% baseline, I would assume. as long as you're like fighting for 8 seconds and using your abilities. So this will never fall off. So this is up to 3%. Okay, arcane damage deals increased by 5, and bleed damage deals increased by 5. Moonbear? Moonbear. Moonbear. All right. Evoker. We can check out Evoker since I do play it a bit. Upheaval deals increased damage next to eruptions. Ebon might increase primary stats by additional 0.4% of your own every 2 seconds. Ooh. So you're like motivated to keep a longer Ebon might? Because I know sometimes you might let it drop and recast. Yeah, I'm not completely sure, but we'll see how that goes. Dev, disintegrate increased by 10%, pyre increased by 10. Eternity Surge cooldown decreased by 5, and now it grants Essence Burst. Isn't that kind of crazy? So you're going to get really big extends on your Dragon Rage. I'm not going to lie, I haven't looked at Evoker hero talents. I'm not sure how that plays out at all. But this Tiersets seems quite strong. One of the stronger ones I've seen. Reversion Emerald Blossom heal an injured ally within 30 yards for 10% of any amount healed? Okay, so they're just like 10% stronger. Verdant Embrace increases healing for next reversion by 200%. That is interesting. Okay. Hunter, let's check out. I kind of know all the hunters. So Barber Shot, increase your pet's attacks by 5%. Pet attack have a 10% chance to increase all pet damage you deal. Okay, so it's kind of just baseline. You're always pushing Barber Shot, right? So this is just baseline 10-ish or more percent. No, 10% chance to increase all pet damage you deal by 10. Okay, no one knows what the uptime is going to be, so it's hard to tell. Arcane Shot and Multi-Shot damage increased. Concealing precise shots increase damage for next aim shot. Okay, that's kind of cool. So you're motivated to use your non-aim shots in between aim shots. Wildfire Bomb by 5%. And single target damage increase. The target struck by wildfire bomb. Okay, I don't think that's good enough to make survival meta. Mage. I don't play Mage. We're skipping this. Monk. Brewmaster. I don't really play Brew either, but we'll look at it. Blackout Kick and Keg Smash deal 20% increased damage. That's a lot of extra damage. And Shuffle grants 3% damage reductions. You always have Shovel up, I think, so it's just 3% DR baseline. It seems like that's their goal, right? Every tank just gets 3% from the tier set. Blackout Kick increases your damage dealt by 1% for 15 seconds. Staying up to 3, and has a chance to reset the cooldown of Keg Smash and make its next cast cost no energy. Huh. So, okay, seems pretty strong. I assume it's probably on the same level as the other tanks, but this seems not bad. Envelopingness and Renewingness heal increased by 10%. Vivify extends duration of Renewing Mist and Envelopingness on its primary target. Okay. Seems kind of small, I guess. Tiger Palm increases damage to your next melee ability by 5%. Your other melee abilities increase damage to your next Tiger Palm by 25 seconds. So you're... Ooh. That seems pretty fun. So you're pushing Tiger Palm a lot. Seems like you might need a lot of energy for that. Your other melee abilities? Okay, yeah. So we heard that. Paladin. Alright, hope this is a good one. Shield of the Righteous deals 10% increase and grants 3% damage reduction. Okay, so there's that 3% number again. They're always looking at 3%. Casting a Holy Power ability increases the damage and healing you deal with your next Avenging Wrath by 0.5. This affects stacks. Holy moly. I have a really good feeling about this one. I have a really good feeling about this one. This is going to be crazy. You're for sure playing Divine Purpose with this, right? For sure. I'm excited. Prot Pally is back. Prot Pally is back. Let's go. Ret, Blade of Justice damage increased, and Wicked Bashes damage increased. Wicked Bashes increase your damage. Okay. This is pretty good for Ret. I don't think this will change how you play, because you kind of use your Wicked Bashes in your damage windows anyway, but this is nice for Ret. I think this is actually pretty strong compared to the other tier sets I've seen. Please tell me Shadow's not good again. DP increase by 1%. DP increase your damage by 2% for 10 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. Okay. I don't think Shadow's going anywhere. This looks pretty good. Rogue. When your bleeds deal damage, they have a chance to grant you Vile Tincture. Increase your poison damage by 1%. Wait, so this is... I assume this is going to be higher proc chance in AoE. When you have 5 or more stacks of Vile Tincture, Garrote Rupture, and Crimson Tempest deal 10%. Oh my goodness. It's back. Assassination is back. Let's go. This is hype. Assassination is going to be so strong, I think. Obviously, we still got the raid buff problem, but I think Assassination is going to be better than the current season, and better than Season 3. Probably, potentially, very, very strong. Your Scissor Strike, Pistol Shot, and Ambush have a 20% chance to Ethereal Rampage, dealing 50% increase. Ethereal Rampage, and usually increase the damage next between the eyes. So Outlaw's tier set in Dragonflight Season 3 and 4 is extremely powerful. I do not think this is close to that. So Outlaw might be a lot weaker. This is like this looks kind of nice, but the tier set is definitely way weaker, I think, compared to having an extra roll. Symbols increase damage your next secret techniques. Secret technique increase damage. Ooh, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. I haven't really taken that close a look at the rogue hero talents, but this tier set in a vacuum is definitely strong. Shaman, I don't play Shaman. Warlock. I don't really play Warlock, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, Warrior. Protection. When your shield slam cooldown is reset by Strategist, you gain Expert Strategist, reducing all damage taken. Wait, I feel like you get less procs than every 6 seconds, no? So this is actually weaker than most of the tier sets, because the other tier sets are like 3% all the time, and this is just 3% sometimes. So that feels like not that good. Unless it stacks or something. Shield Slam, critical strikes, increase damage dealt by Thunderclap and Revenge by 10%. Okay, so this actually seems kind of weak, I'm not going to lie, compared to the other tanks, because all the other tanks have 3% just all the time baseline, except VDH and Warrior. So it seems like VDH and Warrior got the short end of the stick here. Warrior's hero talents are pretty good, though, and I think the Felscarred VDH talent tree is pretty good, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it all plays out. Obviously, this is just version 1. So far, I'm real hype about Prot Paladin. This is looking so good. Because I also like playing Divine Purpose. And Blood Decay, obviously, hopefully it's like the all-star of the expansion. It got a rework right before Season 1. And Sand Lane looks ridiculous. So hopefully that one ends up being good. That's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out.